here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Friday. You know what that means? Say it with me. It is Octane Friday, and that's when we kick it up a notch. Welcome back, right? A couple of days without a new episode. I hope you guys are doing all right, but gotta move my youngest into college, so there was no Song of the Day for the last couple of days, and that's kind of how it's going to be over the next another week or so, 10 days. Most days I'm going to manage to get it in, but we'll see. But how can I miss an Octane Friday? I love Octane Friday. I've told you guys that over and over again. And some of you are like, Mark, you play the same thing every time Octane Friday. So much Rat, so much ACDC, right? But see, that's kind of the intent of Fridays as you roll into the weekend. So you got to give me a little bit of a pass on that, because even though today is the exception to the rule, when you're rolling into Friday, you want to hear something familiar, So I got more Whitesnake in me, people. I mean, come on. There's so much good Whitesnake out there. I mean, yes, there's been plenty of Rat, but I've got plenty of Whitesnake. And then Ozzy, I heard some Ozzy the other day, solo stuff, and I was like, oh man, this is so good. And so, yeah, I'm going to be throwing some major softballs at you on Fridays. Many of the days, and you can skip it if you want. It's fine. But I did listen to 4 hours of Rat radio on Pandora, and I wasn't bored. 4 hours straight in the car, and I was just rocking out to all the songs. I mean, we know them all. We know all these songs, metal songs from the 80s mostly, that just get you going into the weekend. But today, for those of you who are kind of like, it's a little bit off the grid. It's actually like a Wanderlust Friday Octane edition, I think. I don't know. I know at least one of you is going to be like, Mark, this is a jam. But the rest of you, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, what are we talking about today? We're going back to the 90s, right? We're going back to the 1990s, the early 90s. We're going back to early 90s. I heard this song the other day and I was like, oh man, I totally forgot about this song, and the video is amazing. We're talking about the band Monster Magnet. Anyone? Bueller? Adamowski? Monster Magnet. This is a band out of Red Bank, New Jersey. Who else is from Red Bank, New Jersey? These guys are not garbage merchants. These guys out of Red Bank, New Jersey, and so they were trudging along, doing their thing. Vocalist, guitarist David Windorf, who's the only remaining original member. They're trying to put stuff out. They're on a small, I think it was Caroline Records. By the way, they have 10 albums, so there's that. But it's the usual story, and then they finally get signed to a major label in 1992, put out a record, still a little bit of stuff going on, but not a ton, and he decides to move to Vegas. So, I mean, who doesn't, right? So you pick up your stuff, you go from Red Bank to Vegas, right? And they start working on a record, Power Trip, which will be released in 1998. So the record we're talking about is a little bit later, but the band from the early 90s, that they're struggling along, doing their thing. This record, Power Trip, would go gold. We'll tell you why in a minute. And they end up touring with Aerosmith, Metallica, White Zombie, Hole, Marilyn Manson, the whole thing. But why is it that they manage to get that? Well, it's because of this song. We're talking about the song Space Lord. And this song came out, and it's just so good, right? It's just amazing, right? So, he said to the director of the video, his famous director, has worked with all kinds of people. He's like, I want to make a rap video, but have it be like heavy rock kind of thing. So that's what happened. So the video starts off, and it's dark, and it's slow, and there's bass, and you can kind of like his voice is amazing, his deep voice, but you can kind of tell it's building. Like you're not sure, you're like, which direction is the song going to go? And it's building the bass and his vocals. Is this going to get louder? Where's the song going? What's it doing? They said it's an homage to Metallica's song for the videos, by the way, Enter Sandman. That's where they got this idea from. That's kind of an homage, a tribute to them. And then all of a sudden, snap, he's in Vegas with his blue rubber shiny suit and dancers in the background, fireworks, casinos. But I dig it. It's so good. And the video just makes it that so much better, but this is just a great song. And if you don't know this, you're checking it out today. And then cruising down the strip in an old Trans Am with the bird on the hood. And who's that in the passenger seat? Twiggy Ramirez. You know who Twiggy Ramirez is? Famous for Marilyn Manson. Also worked with The Perfect Circle and touring with 9 Inch Nails as part of their band. But that's Twiggy. So, I mean, you just know him when you see him, and you're just like, oh man, that scene is awesome. I love that. But anyway, this song, I know, Paul Chabot, you're going to be excited about today. But this was so good and amazing. The video has 27 million views, by the way, so I'm not pulling this out of nowhere. And if you listen to music, any kind of alternative music in the 90s, then you probably heard this song before. But do you guys know this song? He does swear in it, and it's Space Lord Mother Effer is what he originally says. And they didn't bleep it. They kind of like blur it, echo it. They do something to make it so you can't really hear it. Apparently there's remix versions where you can hear it. But that's what you hear there. It's really part of that part. I guess there's a long story about him visiting a dominatrix and then getting a call from the record. People saying that overseas they're calling him a space lord. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But anyway, that's a whole other story, I'm sure, for him. So that's what we're talking about today. Monster Magnet. What do you guys think about that for Octane Friday? It's a perfect song if you play it and you crank it and you're in your car and you're like, Mark, thank you for this. Something new, something different on Octane Friday. But like I said, next week, softballs. That's what we do on Fridays. But today, you're welcome for something different. As we roll into weekend, 7 minutes. What, Mark? God, stop that business. Monster Magnet, good stuff. Crank it up. It's awesome. Yeah, have a good one, and we will be back as usual. I'll catch you on the flip side.